Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Turtles Impact episode 7. Today we're going to be interviewing Louis Armezzani. Louis is another high-level entrepreneurial black belt out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. He's a great coach, husband, and father, and he has started a competition called The Real One. And in this episode, we're going to dig into how and why he created it and what he's doing for the athletes today. Let's get into it. Let's go, guys.
I'm
All
ready.
right, bro. Appreciate you coming on, man. Like, seriously stoked. You've been doing a lot lately, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been busy. I've actually been kind of run down the last couple of days.
I can imagine, bro. Go ahead and give everyone an insight on who you are and stuff and what you do right now.
My name's Lou Armezzani. I'm a third degree black belt, gym owner, coach, ex-MMA fighter, tournament promoter, uh, traveling referee,
Jesus.
instructional maker, and uh, you know, family man and food enthusiast.
Food enthusiast. Yeah, you can't forget the food, bro. Can't forget the
Yeah.
food. So, tell me about this competition that you started. How long ago did you start that?
I actually started I ran my first competition like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it's actually at my first competition, I had Gordon Ryan at it.
That's the,
And yeah, that's before people kind of knew who he was. And
yeah.
anyways, had that tournament. He was there. We had a seminar. After that, a couple of friends of mine, we came together and we started a tournament called the Pittsburgh Jiu-Jitsu Classic. We ran that for years. That was a very successful tournament in Pittsburgh. And then after COVID, we stopped that. And over COVID is when I started running super fight shows in my gym
Yeah.
to give my athletes and other people that wanted to compete something to do while everything was shut down. And we ran with that super fight model out of the gym for a couple of years. We did multiple shows, and then last month we did the real one where we had Max Hansen and Ryan Ariola in a main event. We had a bunch of really badass brackets. Gave
Pretty
away
dope.
like $2,000 and cash and prizes.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Those are some nice mats too. I've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, I bought those mats a long time ago, and I only use them for tournaments and like jujitsu in the park. They're not my mats in my gym.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Really
I
for
like.
competition.
Yeah,
They're nice. The pretty mats, right?
yeah, man, for sure. It's like they're very nice, but
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Well, it was a really nice looking competition, bro. You're doing well with it. It seems like it's growing.
it's growing. You know, my deal right now is I'm I'm trying to bring legitimacy to the local scenes. Not that they're not legitimate,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm trying not to just idolize random people and like with
Playing
super
favorites.
fights.
Yeah,
I'm trying to raise the bar, raise the level of jujitsu for everyone, so we could all continue to evolve and get better.
yeah.
Nobody's
Love
like
that.
people. There's too much stagnation just because promoters want to run multiple events because people will sign up and go to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make jujitsu better necessarily.
It
So
kind of creates
I'm trying to
it. Yeah,
challenge people,
yeah, yeah.
And I
They're super
also,
dope.
what's that?
The super fights are pretty dope, and I think that's what helps a lot of people really better themselves because then they have not only they have a certain person that they're going to be going up against. They're not going up against like some competition where it's like almost a free for all. You can be going up against a guy, a judo dude, or a wrestler or something like this. At least when you're with these super fights, you're jumping into like one dude that you kind of know.
Absolutely. The other thing that I'm doing with the real one is I am being the ultimate antagonist with the gi versus no gi
Okay, yeah,
because you have to fight ADCC rules, and
yeah.
then you have without the gi on, and then you have to fight IBJJF rules with the gi on.
That's
Every person that you face in order to advance in the bracket, you have to beat the guy. And there's a rubric to score it and how you would win and everything. But I'm just pulling all the stops, man. I'm pulling all
yeah,
the stops out for this.
professional. Yeah, that's what you're going for, man. It's
Yeah.
it's working for you, bro. Oh yeah. What exactly? What? So what? So okay. So I guess you already kind of said that you're just trying to help with the um, like just any kind of athlete trying to just make it up and give them something to do and to keep the competition world growing, right? Is your kind of main motivation for starting the competition?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been I've had my jiu-jitsu academy for I'm going on 10 years. This is my 10th year.
That's
And
awesome.
I've been
Congrats.
coach thank you, thank you. I mean, I've been coaching for a very long time. I've been fighting and competing myself for a very long time.
Yeah.
And what happens is complacency in local tournaments and local promotions breeds mediocre and shitty jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to spice things up. I'm trying to, you know, hit it at some different angles because, just because people will buy tickets to go to a show and everybody will get like a cool poster with their name on it that they're fighting someone, and then people are sharing it on social media feeling like $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not necessarily making anything better. You're just making money. Promoters are just making
You're
money
making
on
people
on
happy, and
fights.
a lot of people are like you're saying,
Yeah,
it makes them feel like $1 million when they're all over the internet or they're getting promoted.
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that. Like that
absolutely.
that that is good. Like, but
Yeah.
to a point. Like
Yep.
it's only good to a point, and then it starts to become detrimental to our
Yeah.
growth
Oh
and
yeah.
like our well being. So I think by ultimately challenging people by if you want to, like, that's why I named it the real one. It's like
Yeah.
if you win your bracket, like, you're a real motherfucker. Like you really did it, man. Like, you beat everybody in ADCC rules and in IBJJF rules. Like, you are the real one.
Yeah, dude, for real. I like that.
Yeah, like
Those are good.
anybody could, you know
Those
what I
are
mean, man. Like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years, so it's like super fights and the tournaments with the same guys, with the same fighting the same guys everywhere they go. Like, the venue name changes, like Grappling Industries, AGF, Fuji, Naga,
it does.
but the people in the brackets never change.
Yeah,
So it's like we have to, as promoters,
it's
or
true.
a
It's true.
good promoter, I consider myself to be a good one, not just a shitbag dirtball. We have
Legit
to
businessman. Yeah, yeah,
we have to like raise the stakes.
yeah.
So
Give a shit
that's what,
about your fighters,
yeah, like that's where I'm at with the real one. I'm just out
I
here to
like,
challenge people, try to make good entertainment.
hell yeah, man. I love that. It's definitely putting a bit of a lot of a change because I mean, I ran with Fuji for a while. Tim's a good
Yeah,
dude. I mean, he tried making it, a decent sport or a decent competition, but tournament, but it wasn't his tournament,
yeah,
someone above him was running it. He was just the middleman. So I kind of feel bad for him because he was trying so hard to try and make that a good competition. But,
yeah, for
you
sure.
know,
It's listen, like, there's a lot of moving parts with these
oh yeah,
tournaments.
yeah.
By the way, this says "fuck, that's delicious." It's like that was cold. I just threw this on. It's like one of
You're
my
good.
favorite. It's one of my
That's
favorite sweatshirts.
yeah.
Um,
Dude, it is snowing like crazy here. If I don't know if you can see it from the background, we got like a snow
it's not snowing
blizzard.
here.
No.
It's snowing in Eastern PA, but not out here.
Yeah, lucky.
But like the
Like
thing is,
this.
I do, bro. I love the snow.
Yeah.
I'm
I
I'm like
think
a
it's beautiful.
I'm like a polar bear, bro. Like, snow's
Yeah.
out, I'm going outside. I might just find
Yeah.
shit to do in the yard. I'll be driving
Yeah.
around. But
Okay. Okay, so yeah, the promoters are different than what the organizations like IBJJF is ran by like a corporation. It's a chain almost like a chain
yeah,
restaurant.
it's called Gracie Baja.
Yeah, 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 and
Yeah.
we all know that family all too well. Yeah.
But I
Um,
mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter what we're competing in. It could be, my tournament. It could be Fuji. It could be the IBJJF. It could be ADCC. People have to be good at finishing.
yeah,
That it doesn't matter what we're doing or what the rule set is, and that's how I teach my guys. And
you teach
you
them
know,
to go for the submission, like
well, I teach them that like, you could fight in any tournament. You could compete anywhere. You just have to understand the rules, and no matter, like, so you don't like get yourself DQ'd.
yeah,
But if you have a solid game that's based on submitting people. Like it doesn't matter what the rules are, what the name of the tournament is. You
Yeah.
know.
Yep. Yeah, for sure, bro. Bro, let's start digging into your journey as a black belt. How long did it take you to get your black belt?
Uh,
Who are you under right now? Like,
so I got my black belt from Jason Ratchford and Ailson Britis. Ailson Britis is like he's like a coral belt now. He's like an older gentleman. He lives in New York City. He used to train. He's from Teresópolis, Brazil. He used to train with the Gracies. I grew up with them.
nice.
Jason Ratchford is like my coach from back home in Scranton.
Yep.
Um, I got my purple, brown, and black belt through him. He's now a Henzo Gracie. He's been a Henzo Gracie affiliate for a long time. We trained him with John Donaher and those guys back when he
Nice.
was there.
Yeah.
But about a year after I got my black belt, uh, because I live in Pittsburgh and Scranton is like 6 hours away. It's like the polar opposite end of the state from where
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is. So I actually ended up jumping back with Tony Passos. He's in Virginia in the DC area, and that's who I was with a very long time ago when I was a blue belt fighting MMA, and
Hmm.
then travels and moving and stuff. You know, took us apart, and then as Tony like to says, life brought us back together. And
Yeah.
Tony's given me my first, second, and third degree on my black belt over the last 9 years. So that's who I'm with. Tony's also he's like when Andre Galval would compete. That's who would be in his corner was Tony.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
cool. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Nice, man. So what exactly started your journey into being a jiu-jitsu artist? Like, what sport kind of led into it, or did you just jump right in?
Jiu-jitsu was my first introduction to martial arts. I wrestled, not like as serious as I did other sports, but I wrestled for my school. I started when I was a kid, and I wrestled again in high school. Um, I did jiu-jitsu when uh, by accident, pretty much with a guy like I was working with, and then that was it, man. I went to one class, and then like it kind of came to a couple more, and then I signed up, and then snowball effect. Here we are, almost
Yeah,
20 years later.
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. What inspired you to open the gym and everything?
Um, because I knew that I wanted to have a gym one day because when I was fighting MMA, I didn't really love it like I loved jujitsu.
Hmm.
Um, I started doing MMA a little bit after I started training jujitsu, and
How many
um,
fights did you have?
12 fights,
Nice. All
seven
in?
amateur and five pro.
Okay. Nice.
Um, but I got hurt a lot in fighting MMA. I had a really tough training partners. I was on a really good team. I have like all these stories about John Jones and Dom Cruz and all these
Really?
guys used to come stay with us and train at our camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have really really good stories. I'm gonna have to write a book one day.
Yeah. Shit.
But my experience in mixed martial arts was like no bullshit. It was
Yeah.
really fast paced, high level. Um, and I had injuries. I didn't really get to live my career out the way I wanted to. I knew I would have made it to the UFC and uh, at least had my shot there, but I had a really bad injury in my last fight, and I had to get reconstructive surgery on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So I tried again after I healed up, and I strained it really bad in a training session, and I just had like a coming to God moment, and I was like, "You're done fighting. You could do jujitsu when you get better."
Yeah.
So
There you
I was
go.
cool. I was cool with it though. I was cool with it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, jiu-jitsu is still a great fucking sport, man. Going from MMA to jiu-jitsu, I don't see
You
anything.
know, it is. It is. I think every person should like have enough training and like striking that they understand like how to hold a stance, how to circle, footwork, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, like teep
Yeah.
kick, roundhouse kick, couple of knees. Like everybody should know how to do that. So
Yeah, going through like I guess the flows of kickboxing and boxing are perfect. Because I mean, my philosophy for it was what got me so in love with jiu-jitsu is like you can only be punched in the face so many times, you know. So
yeah,
so when you're going
yeah.
through shadow boxing and loads of pad work and stuff like that, yeah, you can do that all the time. You can do that for your cardio, you know.
I enjoy, like, I teach a couple. I don't teach kickboxing at my academy or MMA. Like, we're strictly a jiu-jitsu academy.
Yeah.
We have a kids kickboxing program, but I teach
That's fun.
some private lessons,
Okay.
kickboxing twice a week, and I really enjoy it because it's like it's enough for me to enough like engagement for me to enjoy it and have fun with it, and like, but not overkill to where I'm like,
Get into it, yeah. Do
yeah,
fun into it. I feel you.
yeah.
Do you have anybody fighting in the cage right now?
Chase is supposed to be fighting next
That's
month.
right. Yeah, he's pretty big into it.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like, I exited MMA like
Yeah,
probably about a year and a half ago. Like, I stopped coaching guys and everything.
yeah.
Um, just
Why?
because,
Why?
like, why?
Yeah.
Kind of for the same reasons about like the local grappling stuff, like fight
Mm,
posters, fight songs, fight shirts. Like
yeah.
those are like the three most important things to these guys most of the time. Um, like, it's not about like, nutrition, training sessions, sleep, prioritization
Uh,
of responsibilities.
yeah.
It's like, how could I squeeze doing this fight into my really cool, comfortable lifestyle that I have going on right now, and
I
not,
got you.
you know, for
Then
me, that's just my take.
I understand.
I'm an all or nothing type of guy.
Yeah, no,
With
that's what I was
there's
about to say. It sounds like you're going 100% on jiu-jitsu. You're warping your life around it, and it seems like you're
Yeah, and if
blow.
it's gonna be like that for MMA, like, people don't understand. Like,
Yeah, it's
dude,
hard.
I like personally, like, I was a very, very violent motherfucker in the cage. Like,
Yeah,
I would do horribly violent things to my opponents to get the
just
fight
Mike Tyson
over.
shit, bite off an ear.
Bro, I am telling you right now, like, I would do bad things. Like, I wouldn't cheat
Like
really
what?
or anything, but like, I would just be as violent as possible.
Yeah,
Like, I am bringing violence. I am bringing
you're
violence
in that
and
cage.
a lot of pressure and pace and power at you within 2 seconds of that fight starting,
Oh
and
yeah,
you got to deal with it. And I know I'm going to get hit, and I know I'm going to continue to move forward,
yeah,
and that's how the fight's going to go.
exactly.
And guys want to like hit mitts all day and like,
They don't want to spar. Yeah,
videotape. It's really not even about sparring, bro. Here's what MMA comes down to. The same thing that it comes down it's the same outlook that I have on tournaments and rules. MMA comes down to being able to finish fights.
hmm,
If you're a skilled finisher, you're going to be a great MMA fighter. If your only goal in your training is to be overall good at everything, you're going to suck at finishing. You're going
yeah,
to fight boring fucking 3 round decisions, or you're going to lose. You're
yeah,
going to hate life. You're going to look at MMA like it's a chore. And it all comes back to like culture in gyms.
yeah,
Our coaches teaching to finish, our coaches teaching people to be as well rounded as possible. Being a
yeah.
good MMA fighter
Break
is
it
not
down
about
for
being
us.
well rounded. It's about
Yeah,
being a finisher.
yep.
And when guys are sparring, like my philosophy is, and I don't consider myself to be like some like force that everybody needs to listen to. This is just me and my opinion.
Yeah,
The way everybody trains for mixed martial arts, the majority is incorrect. And it starts with the outlook that we need to be good at wrestling, jujitsu, boxing, kickboxing. I'm not saying we don't need to be, but that's the outlook. So we have these guys that might have a handle in one of those things, where all of our time is being spent on learning these new skills. Then we decide that we're going to cut 35 fucking pounds for this fight. So 2 weeks into the fight camp, we're obsessing mentally over a monstrous weight cut that might kill us,
yeah.
or make it like that we have that going
It's
on.
really uncomfortable. Like,
Then on top of it, we're sparring.
Yeah.
And the way that people are sparring is to survive rounds. They're
Yeah.
literally training themselves to be boring fucking decision fighting fighters. 3 round overall grappling fighters. So I had to remove myself from coaching mixed martial arts. Dalton Rosta is the last guy that I've been a part of coaching, and he's in PFL and he was in Bellator.
He's doing
Uh,
pretty good.
yeah, I mean, I had my hand in on a little bit of it. Like I was not his head coach or anything like that, but that's the type of guy that I want to be a part of helping. He's serious
Seems
about everything,
dedicated. Yeah.
completely dedicated, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs, never did anything like that. Health first, nutrition. He lives and dies by his whoop. He knows how much rest he's getting. Like, yeah, I'm all in
Yeah.
on a guy like that.
Yeah.
But guys that want to share their fucking fight poster and talk about their fight t-shirt and fight song and not do the shit that's important,
Yep.
on that note, I'm going to have to say no. So,
Yeah. I understand that 100%, man. That's
yeah.
kind of like I don't like. I want to create athletes and champions. You can't do that with no
and
half-ass
and
motherfucker.
and, and solid humans. Just
Yeah.
overall, like we don't
Solid
we don't want
like
to
emotion.
foil and toil over a fight poster.
Yeah.
Like they're
I mean,
cool.
you can
Like,
really see how they act with that. The ego and the clout kind of gets to their fucking head.
bro,
You
I
know.
I literally watch people over and over, like, take matches, and I've lost my share of fucking tournaments and matches. Like when I was a black belt in the IBJJF adult division, going against you know Murillo Santana, Gregor Gracie, Tim Spriggs. I lost a lot, but like we got blue belts and purple belts that are fighting other local blue belts and purple belts that can't get a win. They're like 0-5, posting like DJ Khaled, like, yo, it's my time to shine. Like, bro, go back to fucking doing phlebotomy or like taking blood,
Yeah.
whatever it is you do. Like, it's
Yep.
not your time to shine. Nobody cares. We're not here for it. And why are people promoting you? Oh, let's have you on our podcast now and talk about how cool you are. It's like I can't stand it.
Nope.
Sometimes I get
Oh,
so
no.
disgusted in
Yeah.
our industry and the people I got to put up with and deal with on a regular fucking basis when I'm trying to be, minus the cursing, professional, high level of standard satisfaction and high level of integrity, minus the fuck written on my shirt right here.
Other side. You're good.
Yeah, it's like backwards.
Yeah, I know, right? I was messing with my stash beforehand. I'm like, wait, your
The
stash
stash
that's right.
looks good.
I
The stash
appreciate you
looks good.
trying, man.
But you know what the crazy part is of everything that I just said? Human nature doesn't favor my side. Human nature favors the promoter that wants to just put these shows on for the people that are going to spin their wheels
It's
for, you
that
know what I
whole
mean? With coaches
thing.
that don't give a fuck, that just
Yeah.
want attention. People want attention, bro. They
Bro,
want
I gotta tell
attention.
you what. There's a guy. I mean, he put one of his boys in a professional cage fight, and he got his ass slaughtered because he because he was not atoned for that. He had no discipline outside of the mats. That's all he wanted to do. He was big. He's farmer strong. He could take a hit and he could give a hit and he could take down. His thing was jujitsu, and that's all
Yeah.
his golden thing was taking him down and arm barring. He was a good finisher. Don't get me wrong. He's fucking phenomenal. Like he's got a good record in IBJJF and shit like that. But a professional cage fight, he got clipped a couple times and he was done for. And then the dude just kept knocking him around and started playing with him like a fucking toy. And I'm like, dude, if his jujitsu coach would have been smart, he would have been making sure that he was on point with like his stand-up crew, or even if he had a conditioning program outside of things. It was ridiculous. I honestly genuinely felt bad for the fighter because I'm like, dude, he's getting picked off. You know what I mean? Like he was 9-0, 9-0 amateur fights, and then he jumps into this pro.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not bad, but the thing is, I mean, no disrespect towards him, really, but like he had a bunch of stepping stones with this mediocre fucking fight organization, you know?
Dude, yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's why like that story happens all the time.
It really does. Stepping stones and fucking coaches, coaches' ego along with the student. It
It's
doesn't make
wild,
sense.
bro. It's
Yeah.
wild. It's wild. Like
Yeah.
being at like ref and ADCC,
Mhm.
that gave me so much insight.
That's so serious, bro. How is that? Like from your personal standpoint on reffing it and like the competition by itself, you know?
So I took notes on like my
I'm
takeaways
sure.
from my experience. I
Yeah.
really did. My takeaways from ADCC was this, and like we had like on my mat, I had like William Tackett and
Okay.
his brother, like those guys. We had Nick Ronan and Jason Rao, and I had Zach Mansley from finishers, and all these guys athletes. And you know, the major thing that stood out to me, and I've been telling my class, everybody in the class is that the people that won, they weren't like really impressive overall grapplers. They were good at like two things. Um, they were good at two things, and they just did that to everybody. Like they weren't out there displaying every guard in the book or 19
Yeah.
fucking passes or flipping through back to. Nah, dude, they had like a solid takedown. They had a solid sweep to
They got a
submission or a
game. Yeah.
solid like guard pass to submission. Like it wasn't rocket science.
No. Yeah.
Um, they were good on their feet with like a little bit of jujitsu, and um, there were some teams that were there that I feel as though like they were they had a very eye-opening experience as to what they kind of signed up for.
Like
And
the
then
people.
there's well, I'm just saying in general, like there were
Okay.
some you could see the team, you could see the coaches, you could see
Yeah.
like like what, and then there were some teams that excel at a very high level there.
Mhm.
And then there was like, teams like, Mayan that are like in the middle. We're like, we're there. We
Yeah.
understand the rules. We're winning some matches. We're losing. Um, I thought it was just a really good, measuring stick
Yeah.
for what everybody's doing in their gyms.
Yeah. No. How many guys did you have competing? Was it just AJ?
Yeah, AJ was the only one that competed um, in that. Atlantic
Yeah.
City's like almost 7 hours away.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
little bit
quite.
of a trip for us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything is close. Like Chicago's closer, Toronto's closer. Like
Chicago, really?
yeah, oh
Wow.
yeah, by like 2 hours.
Damn. I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Traveling life, man. So how do you manage everything right now? Like, what's your routine like? Because you're taking on so much right now.
Well, it's my daughter's basketball season right now,
Ooh.
so that kind of takes precedent over everything other than just teaching my classes. I really don't do a whole lot. Well, I can't say I don't do a whole lot during that. There's still stuff that pops up that I have to like run to Tony's gym or something.
Yeah.
But
Do you still have the one gym? Um.
I just have the one you were at.
Okay. Okay. Dope.
Yeah, at the time I was a partner in another one that was like a little over an hour away,
Yeah.
and I did not. That didn't.
Partnering
After
with a
I
gym is.
got out of that after
Yeah.
about a year.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. How's your routine like? How do you handle everything? Because that's a lot, bro. Like,
Yeah, it is. I forget stuff every day, but
yeah.
I
Same.
always say like we're triple booked every day. We have to cancel like at least one or two things just because there's so
So
many
much.
things going on. But I mean, for the most part, it's a scheduling. We just schedule everything we can. We try to write it down as much as possible. I teach privates. I usually teach 4 or 5 privates a week, and then I
Nice.
teach uh, 5 afternoon classes, and then 3 in the evening, and then Saturday morning. Um, as far as teaching, other than that, we have, like I said, I have three daughters. And two of them play basketball on two different teams, and then they also cheer for three other teams. It's so between their cheer and basketball during basketball season,
Nice.
we're on the move a lot.
Yeah,
So um,
because basketball is another traveling sport too.
yeah, I like it because it's not jujitsu or kickboxing or MMA.
It's totally different. Yeah,
It's
definitely off.
very refreshing.
Yeah,
Except when the other parents
start
start
flipping it.
talking shit because I'm like, yo, this could end bad for all of you
You just start
quickly.
brushing your ears. I think we need
I'll,
to settle things down, bro.
I'm gonna drag you guys out by your hair into the parking lot and beat you up.
For real, that's funny, bro. That's yeah, can't imagine, man. So,
Nah,
how do you stay so focused? What's majorly dude? I saw you went through a major like body transformation. How did you? What was up with that? Did you have a rough
uh,
time?
well, I was like a major. I was drinking heavily. Uh, that was for the COVID was like the when the lockdown stuff came. That was I really ramped it up because I had nothing. I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna wake up and start cracking IPAs because
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to go teach. Yeah, so I took that ball and ran with it like a little fruitcake, and
Yeah,
I was I was basically just turned myself into like a slob,
I feel
and
you. It happens,
you
man.
know, I had to make some changes. So I stopped drinking alcohol and started getting more serious about
Yeah. You
you know
traded the booze for sweat, it seemed like.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like I'm no stranger to being in great shape. I've been in and out of it my whole adult career, from fighting and making weights to just like. But there's that part of excess and being like that I just kind of craved at some point. I don't know. It was just being a slob kind of felt good, I think, for a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
But
After going so hard for so long and then that fucking comfortability hits you like that, you're like, shit,
well,
got
it's
this.
a mental state. It's all
Yeah,
a mental state that we're in. So it's a mental state of comfort and fear, and I didn't want to change. I wanted to just do what I was doing because it made me feel okay.
yeah.
So
Escaping your feelings and whatnot.
yeah, you got
Yeah,
to really run head first after that stuff. To
yeah. Damn straight you do, dude. That was a rough time, man. That was a rough time. How'd you, I
Yeah,
mean, you just had all your loyal guys, right?
what's that?
You just had all your loyal guys to help you get through all that stuff, didn't you?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely surrounded by there's some really good people, so
Yeah.
that helps.
Fuck
You
yeah, bro.
know,
How's the community? What role does community and camaraderie play inside your gym to you personally?
you know, I tell people that like if you're a part of my gym, and like I give this speech a lot. Like I say, it's not easy to be here. I expect a lot out of you. Like the training's hard, the
Mhm.
condition, it's hot. Like,
Yeah.
um, you know, I say if you're here, it's because you want to be here and you belong here, and that really resonates with people because I mean, most people in my gym at one point or another didn't train at my gym. They trained somewhere else. And like,
Yeah,
that's just how it is. Like I have a lot of people that quit my gym to train other places because it's not for everybody.
that's true.
So I reassure to everybody all the time that like you belong here and uh that the guys and the girls in the gym, it's just a really natural gelling of I feel like that camaraderie really comes together. Now you got
Yeah.
a couple guys that you could expect to like fireworks when you roll with them and like, but
Yeah.
it's a tight knit group. Like Catherine alone can't. Like my wife came home yesterday because I stayed home for my 12:30 class, and she was like, "Hey," she's like, "We had a visitor from another gym come," and she's like, Nick brought you 2 bags. Like she brought like 2 bags. It was like ground beef, roasts, beef ball. Like my friend who was at class has brought these big bags of like he just got his cow butchered. So
Nice.
it's like,
Hell
yeah, like he didn't just bring stuff for me. He definitely had to bring in some other stuff for some other people. So that's the
yeah.
type of place that it is.
Yeah.
There's always children in the back room during class, like playing. Like people bring their toddlers and babies there.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, so it's that type of place, but at the same time, you're gonna get me, like the drill sergeant
Yeah.
coach, who's really serious about teaching,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have like some really fire training sessions that are gonna be, and
They're gonna be improving. Yeah.
to me, it's like paradise in there most of the time.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How do you approach like the mental and emotional aspects of the just the training and competing alone? You know, like for instance, like if you get guys in that come in there that are like maybe afraid of competing or have just, that little bitch voice in the back of their mind kind of thing. How do you talk them out of it? Or do you?
Well, I mean, that's really a process.
Yeah.
But it's a good point because everybody's got the little bitch in them.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan talks about it. Like
Yep.
you got to kill your bitch 20 times a day, and I could tell it. Like there's when it comes to competing. There's people that are going to compete, and then there's people that are going to be a student in your gym for years on end and never compete.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, but to the people that want to compete and are afraid, it's really just about sometimes you just got to show people like that they're capable of doing so much more than they think they are or than what their brain tells them that they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could do that without making them compete, just through like challenges in the gym, like creating challenges for people to work through, so you could explain how the reason that they did this is because it's actually because they became mentally stronger, and because
Yeah.
of that make a better decision making process, have more confidence in their decisions and their execution of things. And so when you start to build people up like that inside the gym, you know they I don't want to say they buy it, but like they feel it, and
Yeah.
it starts to become the thinking, and then from there moving forward. But the other thing for people is I think we have like a really big group of competitors in our gym.
Yeah.
um, like we always have so many people that want to compete. When I do shows, I have like 30, 40 people that
Nice.
like between kids and adults that want a match. And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to get everybody a match, but
Yeah.
that whole thing, and like everybody seeing me compete for so many years, on the biggest level, like Fight to Win, IBJJF,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, I think that helped, that I wasn't like, hey guys, go compete. I was like, oh, I'm going to fight Tom DeBlas tonight for the main event of
That's
Fight to
crazy.
Win, or I'm going to Toronto, or we're driving to Charleston to compete, or we're here tonight or there, or we're going to
Yeah.
be in St. Louis and competing in Illinois and then driving
Yeah.
home. Like
How was
they
the fight with
see
Tom, by the way?
what's that?
How was the fight with Tom, by the way? That was pretty crazy.
It sucked for me because I got caught in a quick heel hook that,
Oh, damn.
yeah, like I honest to God, it was a fluke for it to happen that fast. And the crazy part was is that like so I have big feet.
Yeah.
I have like size 13, and they're
It's like a
wide.
big hit for him.
So like when he was on the heel hook and he was like cranking it, like my knee was fine,
Hmm.
but like my ankle was popping so
Ooh.
many times. So I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, I didn't have health insurance at the time either. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna tap. I was like, it's all good. But yeah, shit happens. There's
Yeah.
nothing work like that's another thing. Let me talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
At the time, this was like I don't know what year it was, 2018 ish. I don't know. About 2018, maybe 2017. Like Tom DeBlas, Gary Tonin, Gordon Ryan, and John Danaher were the pinnacle of the sport.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything that anybody talked about had something to do with them. So when I lost, like I was an immediate highlight on
Yeah.
Flow Grappling.
Oh shit.
And
Yeah.
then like the
I can
next day, bro, like it only got so much worse because
yeah,
Gary Tonin, Gordon Ryan, and then
dude.
John Danaher broke it down
Oh
in
shit.
these elaborate posts.
Yeah.
And then it was like the highlight reel on Flow because they love Tom. And then like even like a couple months later, like Ricardo Amendolia like interviewed Tom on going to fighting legs with Tom DeBlass, a dumb idea. I don't know why Louis Armezzani did it. And I was like,
What the fuck,
do they
dude?
literally have nothing better to talk about than this shit?
For real. Like, dude,
Like,
come on.
come
That's
on, you
that whole
guys.
like the poster thing. Like there these other like fucking
Like, it was
podcasts.
never my idea to go fighting legs against him. Like, shit hit the fan
Yeah,
when we got
dude, it
there.
happened.
And I
Like,
went for some. Yeah, I wasn't going to, like, bitch out with nothing. I'm going
yeah.
down guns blazing, bro. Put a foot around. I'm going to grab that shit and try to break it off.
Yeah, that's kudos to him for catching you on that
Yeah.
instance, right?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Like,
But
dude,
that's why,
like
like,
they're
we
just
got,
getting
like,
the clout, bro. That's what it is. They want, and honestly, with that, it just sounds like they want to kiss their ass, like kiss Tom's ass, and like a lot of
listen, bro,
it's
Flow Grappling is no better than any other major media outlet. Like, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I don't
they're
care who. I don't care who doesn't like to hear that. Like they're
like
about
it's CNN for
They're
jiu-jitsu.
they're about like clickbait. They're about saying shit to get rises out of people. I get it. It
Yep.
sells. It's their industry. Whatever. It's fucking
WWE.
stupid.
Yeah, yeah, it is getting pretty ridiculous, bro. Like
Yeah. That's why
I-
like
eh,
that's why I like the real one.
the real
You
one.
know,
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be the next big thing. What happens when that becomes the next big thing? You're not gonna let it go to your head.
it won't be the next big thing because uh it'll be great. Don't get me wrong. I think it'll be great, but like it's too hard. Not
It's,
everybody wants to do shit that hard.
it's true. That is true.
Like to win an 8-man bracket, you had to win at least 6 to 9 matches.
Yeah, but there's your sell point
What's
right there.
up? Like yeah, like that's not a super fight. That's not
Yeah.
a super fight. Like you didn't get a ref's decision win in your super fight, and now you're like, King Don Juan. You just
Yeah.
you just won 6 matches in
Yeah.
2 different disciplines. Like yeah, you got the trophy, dog.
You're great, dude. Like for real. But I mean, like, it could be honestly, like you said, people are gonna start getting challenged and stuff like that, and then they're gonna
Well,
want to jump
yeah, it could, and that's why I went to Ref ADCC. I'm going to continue to do that when I get more opportunities too.
in.
It's
Yeah.
because I want ultimate legitimacy for everything that I do and I'm doing.
Yeah.
We changed the program, our no-gi program in the gym to ADCC last year. We don't call it no-gi. I call it ADCC
Yeah.
because it's like a waste of my breath to call it no-gi. We
Yeah.
practice to the rules. Excuse me. When we do live matches
Hmm.
at the end of practice, we do them to ADCC rules.
There you
When
go.
we teach our takedowns, we teach like 4-point ADCC takedowns, not 2-point. We're just trying to be strategic, man. We're not trying to win by accident. We're
Yeah.
winning by strategic
Yep.
process and implementation.
Yeah.
Not by fucking taking steroids and trying to be scramble artists. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, there's a glorified white belt with year with experience. That's pretty
yeah,
you know
yeah.
spasticness. No, I love that, bro. You got to have a game plan. What is the saying? It's what, like your white belt, you're just learning. Blue belt, you start to develop a plan. Purple belt, you teach that plan. Brown belt, it's you perfect the plan, and then black belt, you become a white belt again, kind of thing. Something like that.
I don't know. That sounded pretty legit to me, though. I mean,
Most of that I was just pulling out of my ass, but let's just go with it.
yeah, no,
It's dope.
that does sound like about
Yeah,
on point with that kind of thing.
for sure. So what are some of the challenges that you have faced like in competition and stuff like that? How did you personally get past them? Because your students and stuff like that, the challenges that they face, luckily they have you to kind of like, hey, get the fuck on. This it's okay kind of thing. Was there someone like that for you?
Um, I guess I could say because I've been competing for such a long time. I guess I could say I
Yeah.
face different challenges at different times
Hmm.
when it comes to competition. But um,
Like four that have really stood out to you, that like the
I
major ones that
think,
shaped who you are.
I mean, one of the
Good
biggest
question.
challenges that's a great question. One of the biggest challenges is the realization that I was not doing enough. That was like, I guess you could say that was a big challenge. That was in my earlier days. It's like you think you're doing enough, or like you're the big fish in Pittsburgh, but when you go to, when I'm fighting dudes that just got off the plane from Sao Paulo and stuff,
Yeah,
but it was a different story, man. It was a different story, and I was not going to accept it. I
yeah,
wasn't going to be like, that's just not going to be how it is. Like,
yeah.
we're going to figure out how to lick this
I work
thing.
those motherfuckers. Yeah, that's how you
And
gotta
a
do
couple of years later, dude, I started beating those dudes from Brazil.
it.
You
Dude.
know, um, and it was reassurance that I did the right thing, but I wasn't doing enough in the beginning. I wasn't working hard enough to win at the level I wanted to.
Hmm.
Um, I tell people don't expect me to take you serious if you don't take yourself serious, and I was falling victim to that.
How you?
Um,
Yeah, that saying. How is anyone else supposed to believe in you if you can't believe in yourself?
yeah,
Me too.
but for like honestly, like I'm really breaking everything back down to math. Like I'm doing it in a sense of if we're not confident in our abilities, it's because we're not good enough in our abilities to have confidence in them, which is a direct result of the lack of some kind of training, drilling, or we have gaps in our technique that we need to solve.
Yeah.
When we really like when you what's a technique you're really good at?
Uh, well, it's been a minute, but I think reverse De La Riva to inversion, crab
All
rack is it?
right.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's omoplata, right?
Okay.
For
Yeah.
you, it's like what, Kiss
Reverse
the
De La
Dragon.
Kiss a dragon. Yep.
Yeah. So like it's funny. I was just teaching that too.
Nice.
Um, like I know I'm gonna get to the omoplata on everybody at least one time. I know for a fact I will. Like I'm that confident in it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel that way about an
Other.
armbar, or I don't
Yeah.
feel that way. Like yeah, I'm a third degree black belt, but like I might like I only feel that way about a couple things.
Yeah.
Um, I
Understandable.
think that aspect is huge, like missing in a lot of people because everybody's really focused
On
on
saying or
over overall
yeah.
grappling, having an overall oh, I need to learn reverse de la Hiva. Oh, I don't know what to do when the guy's in top half guard. Oh, I need to know what to do in spider guard on the bottom. Oh, how do I pass the guard when I'm standing up and they're seated? So
Yeah.
like our brain tells us we need to have all of this knowledge in order to be good. But in order to be good, we need to have confidence in our techniques. We need to build tools. We establish tools. We get that tool, we place it in our toolbox, and we move on to the next thing. And that
Yeah.
takes time. It takes time. It takes trial and error. It takes failing at that thing in order to get good at it. And most people won't do that. They won't put the work in and they won't continue to move forward when they're failing. So, getting people confident in competing, getting people ready to compete, and getting people like to bridge that gap always comes back to those things that are very, uh, you know, keystone foundational.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Seriously. Like I think the last time when I was in Spartanburg, South Carolina, I was sleeping on the mats for like a couple months. And what I was working on was I was going and getting the reverse De La Riva. I was inverting, getting to that crab, getting to the kiss of the dragon point, right? Knees behind their knees. And then I would have my my partner, there would probably be three exits he was gonna do, and then I would just perfect those three exits
That's
for
it.
submission or for a takedown or to better in my position. That's one thing that a lot of people don't do. The fucking, like you're saying, the drilling, man. They want to learn that next thing, but dude, you drill that what you drilled yesterday 1,000 more times a day.
Yeah,
It's gonna
dude.
be worth twice as much as that new fucking move you're wanting to learn for a competition or to get a highlight reel or something like that, dude. Like, hey, fuck the highlight reel. Win the fucking competition. Be the highlight reel, dude. Like,
It's easy. It's funny you said the highlight reel because I say that, but I don't have that. I have a different so the way I say, like, I always feel like our jujitsu, when perfected, correctly, it's done beautifully at a high level. Like, be the
yeah,
highlight, make a highlight reel with our jujitsu.
yeah,
I tell that like at big nights, like competitions, I'm like, bro, I'm like, go out there and have fun and like go for it. Like I say, like be the
yeah.
highlight reel because a lot
Don't
of
be
people
scared.
fail in jujitsu because they're too apprehensive to pull the trigger. They stop, they stall, they like deer in the headlights. I say, fucking go for it.
Just
Shoot
go
the
for
flying
it.
triangle.
Yeah.
Go for the like if you're on like a fight to win stage or you're in
Yeah,
submission only that's being
yeah.
streamed like when I do my super fights in my gym, I'm like, guys, you got 6 minutes. There's going to be tons of people watching from around the world. Go for it. Like, this is your time to go. Like, go for the big takedown. Go for the big submission. Don't be boring.
Don't be boring. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying, dude. You're on a big stage right now. Just fucking go for it. No one's gonna remember you if you choke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
uh,
the reality is nobody's really going to remember either one in about
no.
a week. So it's like, who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
Like,
Unless you're going up against Tom Bloss and getting your pro fight. It's a couple months down the road.
yeah,
Hell,
that's
I'm
not.
sure that the yearly highlight reel will probably pop up too.
Nah, do you know what? Tom and I, we're friends. We've been for a
Yeah.
while. Like it's all
Where's
good.
he
It's
out of
all good.
again?
He's in Jersey, Tom's River,
Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's not too terribly far from you, is he?
He's actually pretty far from me. I mean, he's like almost the same distance as Atlantic City, where we just went
Hmm.
for the
Yes, not
ADCC.
that
But
far.
I've known him for a long time.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude's a great dude. Seems like he's doing some really good shit.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Dope. What is your insight on the cross training and all that fun stuff?
So, uh, I think cross training is definitely needed and important. But I definitely think it's important that we cross train in a smart capacity.
Hmm.
Uh, so there's like there's a lot of good people out there, right? There's a lot of good jiu-jitsu players out there, but um,
They don't all
so,
teach the same thing the same way.
well, some of the atmospheres are different.
Yeah.
I don't like my guys picking up bad habits, like bad uh, like some places don't have a lot of rules.
Yeah.
They don't charge people. Like my gym could not be the furthest from that. Like it's expensive to train there. We have a lot of rules. I
Mhm.
expect a lot out of people, and you're going
Yeah.
to get the best jujitsu going. Like I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
You're
I
separate.
want my guys cross train all the time. Like I never would tell somebody you're not allowed to cross train. I would never make somebody feel guilty for it. I tell people if you're going to go somewhere, bring a gi that doesn't have patches on it, just out of respect. Like, don't
Yeah.
go. Like, nobody looks any more strange than walking in my gi all patched up with another team. Like, bro, like people are going to look at you like you're shark bait. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
like
if they see a colored belt on you, you know they're gonna go for you.
if you just come in like with a solid colored gi on with no patches, like
Yeah.
people might think you're just a member of the gym. They don't know who you are, but
Yeah. He comes on Fridays.
yeah, yeah. Um, but there's definitely a lot. Like another thing, like the other side of that is there's really like people have good jujitsu in other gyms and the gyms that we train in. Like, and I think sometimes people think otherwise, like, oh, they suck, or like, oh, they're not that good at doing it. Like, we can't have that outlook on people because that's how you get beat, upset, and proven wrong. But I think it's important to find good people that are good training partners and compatible, uh, with you in good atmospheres that you align your values and morals with. Um, like I said, we have a lot of rules in my gym, and it's
But
only to protect the
yeah,
quality of the product that I'm trying to put out there. It's for no other reason than
yeah.
that, and I get that from my instructor Tony, and he's got a lot more rules than I do, but you know,
As long as I mean,
you
as long as you're not running it like a cult, that's
no, 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 no. It's the
you're
opposite of that.
athletes.
There's no dude, I'm not gonna use Gracie Baja as an example, but I'll use them as an example.
Yeah,
Um, just because it's like the easiest one that everybody would know and understand, right? Like,
yeah,
so like you could train in other gyms. Like, you don't have to call me master or sensei.
yeah,
You don't have to buy anything that has our logo on it. You don't have to compete under our name when I tell you to.
yeah,
You don't, if you can't make it to the promotion seminar, it's fine. I get it. I got 3 kids and I'm busy too.
yeah.
Uh, I don't make you do any of those things. Like, I know that other places make you buy the gear quarterly. You have to go to certain seminars. You have to
Those
compete
are the
when they
money fuckers, honestly.
like you can't cross train. You have to call them master, doctor, sensei to the fifth power, or
Yeah,
else like you'll be banished from the kingdom and you can't play fucking dominoes at the end and drink Kool-Aid and eat vanilla wafer cookies with everybody in a circle while sitting Indian style and not saying anything
yeah.
with
They
group
really
shirts on.
segregate.
No, so like, you know, I think there's a difference between having rules to uphold quality and having rules because you're afraid to exploit yourself, afraid
Yeah,
to, be proven wrong. Um, the Mendez brothers. So when I opened my gym in 2015, the Mendez brothers were like what I viewed as like that's the type of gym I want.
yeah,
Like, they are awesome at jujitsu. I've watched them win worlds in person.
nice.
I was like, their technique is the cleanest going. I was a member of like Mendez Online at the time. I even took their rules and I like copy and pasted their rules for my gym rules. When you walk in, it has my rules on the wall. So that's kind of like what I wanted. I wanted like when you say to yourself, like, I want what they have, like I looked at and look at them now.
Yeah,
Like, look at what they've done in the 9 years. Like, it is mind blowing. Like, the level of jujitsu of Tanya Dalpra,
yeah,
of the female that just competed on Who's Number One the other night. They have so many athletes. Cole Bay. They have so many. Jonathan Alves, Guto, Pereira is there now.
yeah.
Diego Pato just beat Dante.
Damn.
Uh, you know, they're so like impressive,
Yeah,
and they have excellent leadership. They have an environment that's got a ton of rules, but it's to focus it towards hard up up level training.
yeah.
So, you know, that's the attitude when it comes to that type of thing.
Fuck yeah,
For
dude.
me, anyways.
Yeah,
Being 10 years in the sport, man, I'm not doing this shit to because I'm bored. Like, I'm trying to
yeah.
be the best at what I'm
Be the
doing.
best. Fuck yeah, and all
Like I
around.
was I was telling people at class today, like, I've been an instructor, a full-time jiu-jitsu instructor for 10 years, not a part-time, not working a full-time job and then going to teach class. Like, this is what I do all day, every day for 10 years. Like, I'm not trying to hang out and,
Yeah,
do this
just
all day. Like, I'm not trying to like, yo, bro, like all
yeah,
the time. Like, I'm
yeah,
actually trying to get a lot of shit done and make world champs and like get people on the road to being a world champion. And,
yeah.
you know, that's where my head's at.
Well, shit, bro. It's already an hour. Holy fuck. So, all right. I guess we'll wrap it up. What is as someone that's wanting to follow in your footsteps, say your daughters or even one of your students, what advice would you have for them?
My advice is, you know, taking taking whatever you're doing and doing it with passion and consistency. Because if we don't do those things, we lose interest, we fall off, and it's just easy to get like off topic. Um, if you don't have passion for what you're doing, then it's just real. Like I said, it's easy to get off topic. But if you're not consistently doing what you're supposed to be doing in a routine that's structured, in a structured environment with positive boundaries, left to right, top to bottom, where we understand and we can navigate in those, then whatever we're working toward is, it's like, it's got holes in it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So passion, integrity, consistency, and I'm come from an immigrant Italian family, hard work, like
Yeah.
putting your nose to the grind and working.
There you go, bro. Oh yeah, I love it, man. Any shout outs? Anybody you want to mention?
Uh, at the moment, I'd like to just shout out to everybody part of my team uh, that keeps me going. My wife and children that keep me going. My coach turned 44 yesterday. Shout out to Tony. It was his birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, just my crew, and anybody else out there that has the truth in their heart and they're positive and they're doing the right thing and they want to do big things. I'm a fan of yours. I'm always rooting for people like that are trying to just be better and doing it with integrity. So
All
keep
right.
like Joe Dirt said, life's a garden. Dig it.
Yeah. Fuck
Keep
yeah,
on
bro.
keeping on.
I love it, man. All right, bro. I won't keep you any longer. I really
I
appreciate you jumping on with me, bro.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for listening to me. I know that I'm kind of opinionated on certain things, but
Dude, no, I love it. That's what fucking
uh,
makes you, bro.
hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Appreciate
I'm
it,
looking
dog.
forward to coming down and getting some of that fucking brisket. You best bet.
Let me know. Let me know.
Yes.
It'll be here.
All right, bro. I'll catch you later.
All
Have a
right,
good
later,
one,
bud.
dude.